It's time for another Dice Tower review with Brian Hoier.
Hi, and welcome to another Dice Tower board game review. I'm Batman.
And that would make me Robin?
But not so fast. Are we talking Dick Grayson Robin or Jason Todd Robin?
Well, you're kind of limiting me there. I could be Tim Drake. There was a woman, Stephanie Brown, and I think a Damian Wayne here as well, if you know your DC history. I think I just out-nerded you. But I'm going with Dick Grayson.
It was Tim Drake.
Of course.
Otherwise known as Brian.
And Patrick, the guy who's occasionally behind the camera.
And this week we've been looking at First and Goal, a board game version of American football.
The only real version of football, I say in jest.
And we'll be talking about the components. We'll show you a little bit of gameplay, and then we'll come back in a little bit with our final thoughts.
So how does it work out? Converting the football game, American football game, to a board game? Well, let's pop open the box and find out. Okay, here's the basic components right out of the box. We have two decks of cards, one for the defense and one for the offense. We have a football, which is magnetic. The board is magnetic. That helps you keep track of downs and yardage. We have first down yard markers, which is a really neat addition to the game. We have a card here that determines or helps you decide if you're going to kick or fake, and it helps you decide what action your team is going to do during a punt or a field goal. And finally, it comes with dice, and I'm talking lots of dice. And how is this all used in the game? Well, I'll let my brother explain that.
Now, the football field is divided into 4 lanes, if you'll notice. Those help you to remember which down it is. So if you're going this direction and you're in the left lane, this is your first down. After you make a play, whether you gain or lose yardage, just move the football to the correct spot, over one lane, second down, third down, and then finally fourth down. And of course, if you get your 10 yards and get first down, you just bring the football back over to this lane over here. The other thing you'll notice is that they've set it up so that it kind of tells you for special teams what you need to roll, which is nice. You don't have to refer back to the rule book so often. And of course, it also has your timeouts over here, which you have little clear discs to put on to mark you get 3 timeouts per half of the game. Now, for gameplay, each side draws 8 cards from the proper deck. Offensive deck, they'll take 8 cards from their people. On defense, take 8 cards from their deck. The cards look like this. This is an offensive one. You can tell it's green, and it's the sweep play. And then underneath that, it says that it's a running play for people who may not be familiar with football. And then down here, this is the number of type of dice and the color of dice that you will roll depending on what the defensive player plays. Because the way the game is played is kind of like a rock, paper, scissors, with both teams revealing their plays at the exact same time as they would get to the line in a real football game. So if I was to play this, we would count, 1, 2, 3, whatever. We'd reveal at the same time, and we'd throw down 2 cards. Now, strong safety for defense, the sweep for offense, and then you match up the plays on the deck. So you'd find sweep over here, red, black, white. Those are the 3 dice I would roll. So in the above example, it was red, black, and white. So we take the play die, we take the red, and the defense actually rolls the black, because if you get a good look at the black one, it's actually negative yardage, and that's how they're going to push us back. So, offensive would roll. I'd roll the 1 and an X here. Defense would roll -1, but the X means the play was broken up. Now, normally what you would do, if you rolled a whole bunch of dice here, you'd add them all up, and this is the yardage you would gain. 1 plus 16 is 17, plus 9 is 26. 27 yards gained total, -1, so we move forward 26. Again, that all kind of depends on what the play die says. There could be a turnover, a breakaway, which means I get to roll the same dice that I just rolled again because my runner's getting away from their team and they can't tackle him. The play was broken up. There could be a chance of a penalty, perhaps, etc. You get the idea. If there is a penalty, that's when these other 2 dice come down here. Now, this one will show you if it's a defensive or offensive penalty. And, of course, you can gain 10 yards, 5 yards, going forward or backward, depending on who was the team that committed the penalty.
Okay, we're going to run through a quick play here. My brother and I have both chosen some cards to play. He has the offensive position right now, so we're going to mark off right here where our first down will be. He'll get first down at the at the 30-yard line. At the count of 3, we're going to throw down our cards. 1, 2, 3. I throw down a corner blitz. He throws down an off tackle. So what we do is we match them up. My corner blitz on the off tackle, I totally failed to stop his play, and he gets to roll a red, beige, brown. Of course, I get to roll the black. The defensive always rolls the black, and of course the play dice. My brother will roll first.
Ooh, we're looking at 3 plus 5, 8, 10 yards, so I move it 10 yards. I could possibly have first down, but
I'm going to roll my defensive dice now to see if I can stop some of that yardage. And I do not. I rolled a 0, so he gets all 10 yards.
Except it's a turnover.
So at this point what he does is he has to roll the other play dice, the one that has the referee signals on it. If he rolls another T on this dice, that means the ball is turned over and I get possession of the ball from this point.
So let's hope I don't fumble it here. Oh, look at that. What are the chances on camera? So that would represent, in this case, since it was a running play, a fumble. His team picks it up right here where I would have left off. So now it would be moved over to his left lane. First down, 30-yard line.
Okay, one of the other elements in an American football game is the time clock, and this game has a time clock element built into this. After you're done playing a card, you discard that card. Of course, you'd also pull another card so that your hand has 8 cards for the next play. Since it's a running card, it has a little flame symbol up to the top of that. That means we burn a second card. The offensive deck is your timer. Once the offensive deck runs out and you run out of all 8 cards of your hand, the game is over, or at least the half is over. When that is done, you reshuffle the cards and you start again from the beginning with a full deck until that deck runs out as well, and then the game is over. This game is played in 2 halves in that way.
Now, because this is kind of a random game with the dice and the cards, and because you can only play whatever you have in your hand, you've only got a limited choice for plays, they do give you the option of the timeout. That's where the timeouts come in. If you call a timeout, you have 2 options. You can go through the discard pile, assuming this was larger, and look for that one play that you really, really wish you could have, and you use up one of your 3 timeouts for that half. Or your other option during timeout is you can discard your entire hand and draw 8 new cards, hoping that there's something better in there.
Some final items with the rules of this game. There are rules for 2-point conversion after a touchdown. Also rules for punting and field goals if you get to the point where that's necessary. There's a lot of neat additions to this game, extra rules that you add into the game as you play it that make it more directly related to the football experience.
So, final thoughts on first and goal. One thing I really enjoyed about it is I love the quality of the components. There's not a lot in the box, but the cards are very sturdy, very thick cardstock, plastic coated. They really seem like they'd hold up well.
For those of you who have players that have Cheeto fingers and other sorts of nasty eating habits when you're playing the game, that's a great addition to a game like this, where that it's so important to have those cards in good shape. These will hold up a long time in those situations.
The dice are also really nice, and this guy doesn't know, but they come unstickered, and you have to put all of those stickers on yourself, and there are, as you saw, a lot of dice to the game. And it doesn't tell you where to put the stickers. I had to go online, and then it said what side of each dice, what sticker should go where and whatnot. And that just took a little extra time. It's probably about 20 minutes of stickering the dice and pushing them down firm to make sure they'd hold up. But once put together, they seem very durable, and they're nice size.
One really neat aspect about this game, though, is the magnetic board. You don't have to worry about accidentally bumping the board and losing track of the first down marker or where the football was. That part of it is by far one of my favorite parts of this. No accidentally hitting the board and all of a sudden ruin gameplay.
And it's a small board. It's skinny. On a table as big as we have here, which isn't too much larger probably than your average table, you could easily go this way and have 3 games going at the same time at a table. I think it would be kind of fun to do at a convention, or maybe have a tournament going where you have several games going at the same time and have like some kind of winner's bracket or something. I think football fans would really get a lot out of that.
The other thing that I really like about this is there's a lot of give and take. We had a lot of fun when we broke this out with our game group a couple times. We had a lot of fun.
Because you can do 4-player.
Yeah, you can do 4-player. One becomes the offensive coach, one becomes the defensive coach. You talk, you kind of make plans, but the offensive defensive coach is the one who's in charge of actually making the play. So that was kind of fun that they built in rules or options.
There were some high fives.
Yeah, there were some high fives, mostly on my team. Because
there was some laughing and some tears, but we're not going to talk about that.
A couple things that I didn't like. First of all, the rule book's a little bit less than sufficient in some parts. It's not a big deal, but matching up the card play, when you first read it, it's kind of hard to figure out how to match up the plays, but once you figure it out, it moves very, very quickly and very smoothly.
And like I said, it doesn't tell how to put the dice together, which it was like a 5-minute headache. Just whip out the iPhone, and I had it figured out in no time once I went to their website. And of course, help from you people at Board Game Geek. Otherwise, I don't have a whole lot of complaints about this.
I really don't. This really translated well to a fun board game, and it does have the flavor and feel of a football game. The one thing that I would like to mention
well,
is...
now, see, I'm not going to go so far as to say, I hate it when people say, it feels like you're really playing football.
Well, I'm not saying it doesn't feel like you're playing, but it translates well for
eating Cheetos, Mr. Cheeto Fingers, at a table. You're not playing football.
Well, no, but
you feel like a coach, though.
Yeah,
calling, and then you can only hope to the good Lord that the players on the field do what you want, which would be the randomness of the dice or whatever.
No, that I agree with. But oh great, now I can't remember what I said. But yeah, if you're not really playing, it gives you the feel. Now, the one thing I was going to say is I would really like them to add more cards in the future. That'd be really cool to expand the playbook. The plays are repetitive in there. You have a lot of options, but you'll see the same plays as you saw that were listed on the card. I would like to see some expansions to this, actually, with different teams.
There are actually expansions with different teams. They do not have the NFL license, I'm guessing, because it would cost a lot of money, but there are different divisions that you can get that would add dice and a little more to the game. So,
and do new plays as well?
That I'm not sure of. I believe it's new dice so that you can have a team that's a little stronger, they can run further on passing plays, things like that.
Now that I think would be cool as well, but I also would like to see a larger playbook, some specialty plays you can sneak in there, like kind of like a build your own deck in a way, specialty plays that you can add into the deck. Just little card support would be kind of nice as well, just to add a different flavor to it and give a little more twist on the game.
Alright, well, final thoughts. 1 to 10, 1 is atrocious, 5 is it's okay, 10 being amazing. I would have to give First and Goal, I'm going to go an 8. Now this 8 doesn't compare, because I know not long ago we reviewed Battle Cry, and I think I gave that an 8 too, if I remember correctly. An 8 in a big, expensive, large board game like Battle Cry is not the same as an 8 in a fairly light, quick-playing sports game that's a totally different price point too, I might add. So comparing apples to apples, comparing it to like games, it's an 8. It's a lot of fun. It's very high-quality components, and knowing that there are expansions out there, I'd like to see some of those in action.
Yeah, I think this, for me, this is one of the few times I think my brother and I agree. I would give this a strong 8 as well. It's a fun, fast game. If you like football, you'll see some of the favorite plays in there. It translates really well for what you expect to be, which is the offensive defensive coach trying to get the win of the game.
Alright, so there you have it. Looks like we both agreed on an 8 for First and Goal.
And thank you for watching. I'm Patrick, and this is...
Batman. Brian.
Yeah, you didn't wear the cowl this time. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.